Hey Sammy friends, welcome to the Joy Stamp with Rachel. I'm Rachel Coon and it's our fun Fold Friday. Today is probably my last Christmas card because Christmas is almost here. I think we're counting down to 8 days now or less. I don't even know anymore. It is just around the corner. And so this is probably my last fun fold with Christmas as the theme. And this time I'm using kind of a mixture of the mini catalog and the annual catalog. Go and hold while I flip and we'll get started. Let me just scoot everything over so it's better in view. And we can talk about our card today and the stamp set we're using and what you can do to substitute if you don't have this items here. First, let me show you this awesome card. Actually, really first, I want to remind you, you have until now, till midnight Pacific time to comment either on my Facebook live video or over on YouTube. One lucky person who comments will get the card that I make in the video today sent to them in the mail. And this is a card we'll be making. I have the Deer Builder Punch as our center point here. He's on a belly band. We're using the Santa's Delivery stamp set for our two greetings. We'll be using Elf Approved and Sleigh Delivered and Merry Christmas. And let me go ahead and show you how this opens up then. So all we do is we pull down on our belly band and all of a sudden it starts to pop open because inside we have this really fun little pocket here that's covered up when we have it closed, and then we have our secret little message in that corner there. This card was actually inspired by a swap I received from my friend Becky Ray. She used this set instead, and the same idea. Mine is just mirroring hers. I have mine on the right side, she had hers on the left, so it just depends on which direction you want to go is where you'll do your score lines for this card. I am using, or I did use, the Deer Builder Punch. This is in the annual catalog, so it's here until that annual catalog is no longer available or until it retires, depending on if it carries over to the next one. This is a fun find that you don't have like easily seeable because it's in the annual versus the mini, and right now I know we focus so much on the mini. However, a lot of the mini items are gone, such as this designer series paper I'm using. So if you don't have this paper, feel free to just substitute it with whatever you have that's Christmassy. In fact, we only have one Christmas paper still available on our online store. So hopefully you have a good stockpile up and going so you can make this card still. All right, let me go ahead and get the things in and show you what we have. So I have all of my die cut, well, not die cut, this is all punched and cut out, in fact. Oh, one die cut item, which is just our center square using the stylish shapes. You can kind of see there's a little bit of edging around here. And then the rest of it's been cut out. I'll have all the measurements in the link below to my blog so you can know what I used and what the measurements are. All right, here's our piece of paper. It is a 6 1/4 by 7 1/2, and we have it scored at 2 spots. It's hard to see because it's white. In fact, let me go ahead and turn off this overhead light so we're not getting the shadowing below real quick. All right. Hopefully that looks a little bit better. I have some natural light coming that way, so it's a little bit less harsh than that light right above. All right, and we can see our score lines. So here's our 2 inch from the left, and then we turned it, and we have 2 inches from this left as well. If you wanted it to be different, you could do it on this side instead for this one, and that would change the side that is going to be popping open. Okay, we are missing one score line, which is the main one for this one, in order for it to fold nicely. So we need to grab our paper trimmer out that also has a scoring blade, and we'll do that final score together. This one I want to show you just because it's a little bit different. It's not just a straight easy peasy one. But what I've done, and you can see a little bit marking here, I have from the left corner I went and I measured 4 inches over, and then the left corner down I measured 4 inches over. Okay, then we're going to put it in our paper trimmer and we're going to line up that little mark with my pencil, keep it in the track, and pivot the next one on the top right here. So I have that one and this one both in my track view. And I close it and I should still see my pencil marking. So that's a good hint. Do not use the dark blade on this one. Use our light gray one. And I'm going to go over it just 3 times. Just make sure it's nice and good. Oh, that looks perfect. And if you did it perfectly right, then you get it right in the center of where these ones meet. It's like the major crossing roads for that piece of paper there. Okay, let's set that aside. Let's grab our bone folder and our eraser. So we can erase our little marks here. But keep your pencil handy because we'll still need it here in just a second. Okay, so what I like to do is just go ahead and grab it and start creasing on these squares. Grab your bone folder. So you have 3 of them. Just go over each one, and after you've folded all those over, it will be so much easier to get our pieces to come together the way we want them to. So all we do now is push these in. I'm grabbing the 4-inch score spot here and kind of just pulling it in that way. So they both meet, almost making like a kite shape there. Grab your bone folder, help you with that final crisp point here. There we go. Keep your pencil out. I told you not to go too far with that. We're going to mark it right here so we know that that's a spot. And we're going to mark it right here so we know that's a spot. And those are for us to know where we're going to stamp. Go ahead and open that up. Let's grab our Evening Evergreen is my color of choice today. It matched perfectly with the paper, which is one of the things I love. So, and it also matches the color of my mat that I'm using. We'll put that into view. I'm actually going to do a practice stamp first. That's my favorite way to make sure that my ink is good and my stamping is nice on my stamp. So this is the Elf Approved and Sleigh Delivered. And I'll do a quick practice. That looks good. Sometimes I get floaties on my, like dust particles on my stamps if I have them out on my table face up. And so it's nice to be able to make sure it's clean right beforehand. Perfect. And then let's grab our Merry Christmas. Ink that one up nice and good. It's about time for me to re-ink this, but I've been holding out. Not because it's hard, it just takes time. All right, practice over here. Oh, see, my Mary didn't transfer. I just think I need to press it down better. Yeah. Make sure I press that down. Inked. Come to our top right corner. Press. Lift straight up. Oh, see, it's a little bit tricky. So if I wanted to, what I would do is I could fussy cut out my Mary. Let's do that real quick. I have a scrap over here. Let's get that. We'll fix that right now. Make a paper band-aid for it. We stamp that Mary up again. And this time, hopefully I get it inked nicely. If not, we'll do it again. So I feel like it's just not picking up some of that ink. And we'll do a press down. That looks better. I'm going to take my paper snips, which is a fancy word for scissors in the Stampin' Up! World. And we're going to cut out our Mary just by going around these edges here. And fussy cutting words is actually really popular on card making right now. So my oops will almost look intentional by the time we're done. Okay, and I could even change the color if I wanted to and made it two-toned words instead. We'll just keep it the same though. Okay. A little bit of liquid glue. I'll just go over that Mary right there. Perfect. Totally fixed it, right? Only the person I'm sending this card to will know the wiser. Okay, just make sure that glue, well, I might have to wipe that down later so it doesn't get stuck there. Take our pencil eraser, erase our little marks, our guidelines, and let's put that ink away so I don't get my finger in it. And we can start gluing our DSP together to the mats. We'll set that aside. And we need to build our deer. And it says it's a deer builder punch, but he technically is a reindeer. And that's because in it also comes this cute little circle for a nose for Rudolph. So totally a reindeer. Okay. So these pieces here are just a 1/4 of an inch different from each other. So this is like a 2x2 square originally is what this corner is. So then I have it by 1 3/4, and then I have this 1 1/2 by 1 1/2 square. So we'll just stick that one on and glue it down to our evening evergreen. We'll grab our larger piece here. Again, all these measurements will be over on my blog. So some of these we actually might have to use tear tape for because of the way that when it's folded, it might cause it to come off. We might just need a little bit stronger adhesive. We'll see. And so that's an easy fix. I do love this paper. I love how it has a mixture of darks and lights together and a little bit of pink even. My only tip is if your paper you're using is situational, I wouldn't want to put my presents on this side like this. So just be careful which way you cut it, so that way the direction of your paper is going the right direction. Okay, let's build our cute little deer while we're here. You can either use liquid glue or a little bit of Stampin' Seal. I'm going to use a little bit of seal just on the back of his head here. And we're going to attach his antlers. And I'm actually flipping the direction of this deer. He was this way before. Now he's going to be going that way. We'll see which way we like better. And then just stick your little antler to that adhesive on the back. I'm using Soft Suede and Early Espresso are the colors for this guy. Space him out a little bit. Flip him over and let's put dimensionals on the back of him. I'm going to use the edges of my dimensionals, in fact. So we'll just cut them along the edge. And these are the black dimensionals. Color for this one doesn't matter too much. I'm going to put that right over the antlers. So just give a little extra sticky support there. And then let's go ahead and add a couple of these dimensionals on this guy. Don't worry about putting dimensionals on his legs. Those are too tiny. Remove the backing and let's put them on our stylish shaped square and attach him there. Super cute. So I did not punch out the little nose for this one. In fact, I wanted to change it up just a little bit, show you a variation. I'm using the red rhinestone basic jewel. So I'll take one of those out, slide it off, and put it on his cute little nose here. And if it's too tricky to hold, you might need some tweezers or take a pick tool. I like to put it on lightly and then just slide it into place. Oh my goodness, that is so cute. Let me get it closer so you can see how nice and shiny his little nose is now. Super, super cute. Okay, we should be ready to attach now to our card base. Now that everything's put together, what we want to do is go ahead and fold it this way. And I'm going to put, like I said, I was fearful of this, when it's folded, it's too thick with the layers. So I'm going to put a little bit of tear tape right here. So that way this one I feel like will stick just a little bit better. For the rest of it, I'll just use some liquid glue on the back. But where he's going to be folding, I want to make sure it's extra strong there. Okay, press down. Looks good. We'll go to the other side here. Again, I'm going to put a little bit of tear tape on that side of that triangle. Remove the backing. Flip this one over, put our DSP. For our last piece, I actually like to have it completely folded in because since I have letters on this one, I don't want my fa la 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 being upside down when people are looking at it. So what I like to do is go ahead and now get my fold in. For this part too, we're going to go ahead and fold this part again. Take your bone folder and go over where we already had that score line, like that. Okay. Now it should be easier, except for we're supposed to do it the other way. Let's fold it this way, and we'll grab our bone folder. There we go. It's getting thick, so it's getting harder to work with, and that's why this time, instead of using a thick basic white, I just used a regular basic white. Okay, now I know where this needs to go, so I can flip this over, grab my liquid glue, and put that right in that top square. There we go. Kind of looks like a little frog almost right there as it pops open. Super, super fun. Okay, so it is froggy and it's hard to keep closed. So what we need to do is make a belly band for it. I just have a piece of basic white. That is the 11 by 3/4. We can trim it because it's going to be a little bit long, but we're going to slide it underneath. And I'm going to create a fold. So I'm not scoring at all. I'm just using this as my guide. I'm going to fold this in and do a little crease right here. I'm going to fold this one in and do a little crease right there. I probably could get away with keeping it that way, but I just want to trim it just in case my cute little deer isn't going to cover it. So I trimmed off maybe a 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to grab my tear tape because this one will pop open if I don't. And we're going to put it on the bottom part. Make sure we're lined up nicely. Should be pretty good. And then we're going to carefully start to line this one up over it. And you want to let it go before we push it down. So it has a little bit of breathing room on our belt here. So that way it's not too hard to slide up and down. Perfect. Next, we're going to add our dimensionals to the actual belly band. So that way we can see where they're going. And it's a thinner spot, so it'd be hard to try to match that up. I do like to go over that little spot there to extra adhesive strength. Remove the backings. And then we're going to attach our deer. Try to make him go about center on there. And then he is so, so cute and perfectly on there. I like to have my belly band, when I send it, resting right about here. And it makes it look like you can't even tell that this paper is two different kinds. Kind of looks like it's a continuous flow there, and that's just like a breaking point in between it. So that is super fun. And then I can just slide it off, and it pops open when I take it completely off again. Fun, right? Isn't that so fun? I love that one. And I love that we're able to use a punch, so that's ways quick and easy. All right, you guys, I hope you had a good time learning how to make this card. Let me put that belly band on one more time, just so you can see it in that closed position there. Come from the top. I always come from the top, and then I slide it down the bottom, though, when I want to take it off. There we go. So, so cute. Try to give this fun fold a try. Use your favorite stamp set or grab the Santa's delivery from my online store before Christmas is here. Have a great weekend and happy stamping, everyone. Goodbye.